A typical Duke Carolina game, and I thought both teams competed hard. Uh, just found a way to make a couple more plays there late. Um, I thought they did a good job of keeping us off balance, and our forwards really struggled to score the ball today, and give them a lot of credit for that. Uh, I thought our guards stood tall. Obviously, having two seniors in the backcourt, um, gives me a lot of comfort when we're playing in these types of games because they've seen it, they've done it, and I thought the crowd was awesome. I thought it was a great environment. I mean, I thought you can hear my voice; it's gone. Um, so I don't even think they heard me. I just stopped yelling at that point. The crowd was amazing, and it was just like I said, it was a typical Duke Carolina game. It's what you expect. It's hard to win those games, and we're fortunate we were able to get it.
Um, just obviously you guys were led in scoring, I think 14 apiece for two of the seniors that were being recognized. Just how happy are you for them to, have the win and also just have that kind of performance with this game?
You never know in senior night how they're going to respond because it is an emotional game, and um, so I was a little worried about that. Would they come out a little flat because they're emotional about it, about being honored? But I thought those two did a great job. They were locked in from the beginning. Had to extend them a little longer today than normal just because the way the game was going. And it's great to get the win. You want that as a coach. You want to be able to get the win for them on senior night, so they have that memory, of winning the game in front of a sold out crowd. So happy for that.
You talked about, sorry. You talked a little bit about making plays late there to, kind of secure the game. How did you see your team sort of able to kind of, especially with those steals there, able to secure the game there and kind of give that lead a little bit of a cushion?
I can't say that we gained any traction. I thought they just did an incredible job on the offensive glass, and they had 19 of them. And I thought defense by and large was okay. And then they just had this tremendous effort to get second chances. And so we'd play well for a possession, force a missed shot, and then they got the offensive rebound. And so we just couldn't find a way to box them out. And that was frustrating. When we did kind of get some stops, be able to get the defensive rebound, get out and run. And then, we had some plays late. I mean, T had a big steal late to be able to get it. Ashlyn had one late where she passed to Delaney. So our full court pressure, made some plays for us there.
This year, just what's your assessment of just your team overcoming adversity, and just coming out still remaining undefeated in ACC right now?
The first half, we just didn't start off really sharp, and I thought in that second quarter, obviously Woody with those 3 threes, gave us a lot of life, and she had that one late, and you got to have players off your bench make plays and score, and I thought Woody and Ari, they're 5 for 5 from the 3-point line off the bench for us. That was huge because we were struggling to score for stretches. And so their ability, I mean, Ariana had a big one that answered one of their threes in the second half. They hit a 3 and then she hits one right back. So I thought in that second quarter, Woody's swagger, her confidence making those shots was great.
Coach.
Two
Oh, go ahead.
two teams playing very well.
Yeah. I don't really ever talk about the officials. It's not my place to do that. We have people, that grade them and evaluate them. So that's not my place to do. Been on both sides of things, been on both sides of it, but I can't speak to that.
So yeah, coach, on that same note, the other side of having those more UNC having more points in the paint was that you guys didn't get called for that didn't get any free throws. I was just curious. Was that a focus before the game, defensive discipline? Staying within yourselves on defense, or was that it was more than that?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't think our defense was that good, and I thought they were getting layups, and there was none of our players near them, so there wasn't really a foul to be called because we were doing such a bad job. And you guys saw the game. I mean, just transition, wide open layups, drives, helps up, dump down, layup. There was no, we weren't contesting anything. So if you're not contesting anything, there's just an open layup. And that's what we were doing. And so that was very frustrating as a coach because I felt like we weren't doing anything that we talked about before the game. So that's why sometimes stats can kind of can lie to you a little bit and tell a different story. You might look at the free throws and say, oh, they played great position defense and they defended without fouling. No, we just didn't defend. There's a difference.
Particularly in those last few minutes. What were your conversations like going into the last couple of minutes for them to lean on that experience and be able to finish out the game so strong?
The conversation in the huddles in a late game situation is more about what we need them to do. It's more, hey, this is the scheme. Hey, this is how we're playing this action. Hey, this is what we want to run. This is your read. Then it is like, rah. Hey, come on, guys, we need, that's not really happening there. It's like, hey, we're switching this action. Pay attention to this. Be alert to that. This is the play we want. So it's more information than it is, win one for the Gipper.
You guys, I wanted to ask you about your bench. You guys have had some injuries and stuff like that, but like you mentioned, 5 of 5 from 3-point from Ari and Woody off the bench. When you have two players who can come off the bench and kind of give you that production, and they've been doing it throughout this winning streak you guys have had, how important, I guess, is that to have two players of that quality who they could probably start for a dozen other teams in the country?
You when you go into these games, even though you would love for every player on your roster to have a great offensive night, we all know that that's not how it works. It doesn't happen that way. Someone's going to have an off night. And when you have players on your bench that can produce, when someone has an off night, which we had a few in our starting lineup that did offensively, that allows, for you to still win games. And you think about, how we've won games. We've won games with probably 5-6 different leading scorers in the ACC. We've won games with 5 players in double figures. We've won games with our forwards dominating. We've won games with our guards playing well. So we've won a lot of different ways. I think to be a good team, you have to be able to do that because every team presents different challenges and they're going to take away certain options. And if you don't have a backup plan, you're probably going to lose. If you don't have another option, a second option, a third option, you're probably going to lose. So those two, like I said, in their spurts, I thought they did a good job. There's room for growth and improvement for both of them, but I just loved their competitiveness and their attitude and their confidence. I thought they both played really confidently today, which is what we need from them.
Yeah, Kara, I want to ask you about Toby. Obviously, she struggled scoring inside against physicality, but she had 12 rebounds and 3 blocks. You talk about her ability to contribute when her shot's not working.
I mean, we challenge all of them to do that. Otherwise, you're just a sometime player. Like, you're only good when you make shots. And we all know that that's not a winner because shots are probably one of the most up and down thing, a part of the game when you think about shooting percentages. So, she didn't finish well today. They did a good job being physical with her. She missed some shots she normally makes. But her rebounding, giving us second chances, defensively, what she brought, I thought that was huge.
Thanks.
Just you talked about the atmosphere, all the fans here. Obviously, this was game on ABC. Really exciting game, maybe a little bit less of like a rock fight that you saw some years past. Just what do you think this kind of caliber of rivalry game on that primetime slot shows for folks? Just not in the triangle necessarily only, but across the country?
Well, the sport in general, we all know it. It's on a rocket ship right now. When you look at collegiately women's basketball, when you look at professionally women's basketball, I think more and more people are coming to the realization of how exciting it is, how dramatic it is, and the quality of the athletes that are playing this game. And so to see all the games, not just our game, all the games that, the game last night, I think there's a game going on right now on ABC as well. Most of you in this room, you follow the sport all the time, so but there's a lot of people that don't. And I think we're lucky in the triangle to have 3 great teams. We have 3 teams that are exciting, 3 teams that are competing at a really high level. Be able to showcase that within the community is something I think that's special.
Coach, can you just give us, I guess, a brief description of what the conversations were like from the beginning of the season to now, where you play, I believe, 5 of the top 6 teams in the country, and a lot of people, not in this room necessarily, but we're trying to call for you to be fired as the head coach of Duke basketball. It is my opinion. But just to get to this point now where you've won 16 straight games since December 4th, I think the net rankings came out yesterday. You're a 3 seed right now with a chance to host a game here at Cameron. But what were the conversations like with your players to let them know to not give up, next game mentality, that you're still in it to win it, nevertheless?
I think what's really important, whether you're in a season of prosperity or you're in a season of adversity, because you're usually in one or the other. I think it's really important that you stick to what's real and true. What's real and true in basketball? Film, analytics, what you see every day from your team. And when you stay focused and locked in on that, then you can give a real assessment of where you are and where you need to get to. Anything outside of that is irrelevant, right? Someone's opinion doesn't change whether you can do it or not. It's just someone's opinion. So to spend time and energy on that doesn't serve you. And so the fastest way to get from a season of adversity to a season of prosperity is to lock in on what's real and true. Figure out where you need to work and get better, and then it will turn at some point. We don't get to control the length of our adversity. That's a frustrating thing about life. Like when we're in adversity, we're like, okay, is it over yet? You wake up and you're like, is it over yet? You don't get to control that. You get to control who you are in it. That's it. Who are you in adversity? That's what you get to control. So what I focused during that time and what I encouraged my players to focus on is who are we in this time and where do we need to get to? And when you lock in on that, then you're gonna have success at some point. And did I think we would win a lot in a row? I don't even know how many we won in a row right now, but did I think we would win a lot in a row? I don't know. I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about, could we keep getting better? So it's a great lesson for us. We'll have another time of adversity. It comes around a lot. But now I hope the lesson they have is focus on the right things during it, focus on who you are during it, and it'll turn at some point for you.
Hopefully this is a fun question for you. So this streak is amazing, the undefeatedness in the ACC. And I think the team reflects your personality. But is there one player or 2 players on the team that truly reflects you as a player, the way you play?
Well, I hope they don't reflect my personality because I'm pretty boring. So that would be bad if they reflect my life personality. Game, probably Mayor's the closest. Would be how she plays, her competitiveness. Yeah, I would probably say she's the closest. I still beat her though. Let's not get that twisted. All right. Yeah.
Coach, you kind of mentioned there's 3 teams in the triangle and you get the 2 rivals back to back, and obviously NC State kind of didn't have the adversity to start the season you had, but they've had some ups and downs. Is there anything you guys are telling your team to kind of get them to bounce back, or have they been pretty good at that over the course of the streak?
Our team has been very good at focusing on the next game. And so good that one of them, I'm not going to tell you which one, came up to me and said, "Who do we play next?" After the game. She didn't even know who the opponent was. So they've been very good at that. And we'll come in on Tuesday and we'll start talking about them. I haven't watched them yet either. So I can't tell you how their season's gone, or I just know they're always really good. I know they got really good players. I know they got a really good coach. And I just know they're always good. So that's kind of been our mentality. So they have our full attention now. And we'll prepare. And that's what it's supposed to be about. That's this league. Like, you play hard teams in February. That's how it's supposed to be. Because, I mean, it's basketball. You want to play all the top teams. So we're excited about the matchup. We know that they'll present a lot of problems for us. They're really, really good. You look at their games. I haven't seen them, but you look at some of the results, and it's like, okay, like they're playing well. So we'll do our best. Thank you.